So on today's episode, we are talking NCAA tournament. The Sweet 16, the Elite 8 are over. We'll have our reactions to that, thoughts on what's going to happen next. And then we are joined by the one and only Robert Cackham to kick off the baseball season. We're talking all things baseball gambling, everything you need to know to get ready for this season. So that's what we got in the episode today.
I bet my life I'm a Diceshaker. Electric lights on a skyscraper.
Welcome to Diceshaker Podcast. My name is Jordan Brown. I'm the host of the Diceshaker Podcast. With me, as always, is the man behind the scenes, Tyler Hartley. Thank you, sir.
Let's go, Jordan. I hate March Madness. Let's go.
Yeah. So today is March 30th. It's the Sunday of the Elite 8. Tennessee is dead. We're recording this right now with the second game still going. So if anything happens there, we'll talk about that. But yeah, listen, a hell of a run. At no point did they play a close game in 4 games.
No.
That was interesting.
Yep.
That was wild. Where it was like we murdered. Like Kentucky. We can talk about starting on Friday night with Kentucky. Like that game was so easy.
Too easy.
Like immediately just boat raced them. Just immediately got out in front.
It was so easy that I went for extra, and you got angry at me for that.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, now that kind of in hindsight looks really bad. But Tyler did bet. He bet Kentucky live in the last 3 minutes of the game.
Plus 15.5.
Yeah.
It's a big number.
Yeah, I know, but it was it just goes against the spirit of
Listen, it's going to keep me up tonight.
What?
Just betting that game.
Oh yeah, then you might have did that. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it could have been that.
Yeah.
Ultimately though, that it's when they lose like that. Sorry, we gotta finish the one. So yeah, Tyler bet again, which I just basically said goes against the spirit of the whole point was not let's be as smart as possible about this. It's let's believe in something, and and then you finish the game cheering against Kentucky or cheering against Tennessee, cheering for Kentucky, and it's all right. Well, that just kind of feels like that defeats the purpose of what we were doing here. But whatever, it's fine. It didn't really matter that much.
I could say the grand.
I think the fact that they went 0 of 15 from 3 in the first half, and again, that's just we talked about that after the first weekend. That and as chalk as this tournament has been, we'll talk about that. But there is still the volatility of you might just score 14 points in the first half or whatever they scored, 15 points, and it's over.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else really matters at that point, right? Which again, you get that in college football where it's your quarterback might just throw 3 picks in the first quarter and it's over.
Yeah.
And you're just dead. And the rest of whatever went into the matchup didn't matter. And so, there's that part of it which is good. And then it also just seems that this is we took the reason we landed on Tennessee ultimately was we thought that they had a good combination of a legitimate chance to win and good classic March Madness type storylines, which then ultimately ended up with this being the story of the tournament being no, all those the storyline of the tournament is that all those storylines are dead.
Yes. Yeah.
And that we don't do that anymore, and that it kind of reminds me a little bit of how college football used to be before NIL, where it's just the biggest programs are just going to win. Going, you know what I'm saying? Coming into the season, we're it's going to be one of these 4, and it's going to be them at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it seems you can make that argument too, because literally it looks like if Auburn holds on here, the Final Four will be all 1 seeds.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't know, and the Elite 8 was all 1 and 2 seeds plus Texas Tech is a 3 seed. Mm-hmm. And none, so it was at no point, that was kind of the argument we made last week was that, okay, yeah, you didn't get your classic, upsets, but that means we're going to get a really good Sweet 16, a really good Elite 8. We didn't really get that. We got more blowouts.
Yeah.
So it's just okay, so where's the talent? And look, I don't know, the Final Four, Florida, it's going to be what? Florida and Auburn likely. That could be a good one, I guess, but Florida's probably going to be favored by 6 points. And then Duke, Houston. Duke's going to murder them, I think.
Yeah, Duke to me is just is actually watching professional basketball.
Well,
team.
yeah, that's an interesting point because I said that to my brother actually over the weekend that watching Duke Alabama felt like when you would watch Georgia and Alabama playing football and you'd be oh, this doesn't even feel like college football anymore. This feels like an NFL game, right? That game felt like an NBA game. Yeah. Obviously, they made $1 million, all that stuff. But just the speed and the skill and the shot making, reminded me definitely more of an NBA game. And obviously, there's a bunch of NBA players on those teams. So that makes sense. Yeah. But what's scary about Duke and why that's the one thing that is as much it was sad today how Tennessee went out for sure. But I did spend most of last night and all of this morning thinking we're probably just playing for the right to get our head cut off by Duke.
That's kinda what I was thinking, too,
I
yeah.
didn't really see and I thought, look, I was gonna go down with this ship. I was never gonna cash out. Like there was never gonna be any of that. But I did definitely see this being like, all right, like today I thought they were gonna win today and then probably get murdered by Duke. And I don't think Houston's gonna do any better against Duke. I don't think Houston's better than Tennessee.
No.
Like that was the whole Houston kept Tennessee in the game because they couldn't really make shots either. Tennessee had what I have to believe is a historically bad first half.
7% from three.
That's gotta be.
Up there.
It's not just that. It was they had 15 points total.
Yeah.
Like they're getting crushed on the boards. Like it's just like I said, I don't know. Maybe they're out last night. Whatever, just didn't show up.
Well, some of the stat, the boards made sense. Like to me,
Yeah, because they're bigger.
Because even when they'll try and run it with a second unit, and it's a small lineup they put on, fast, and it's but if you're not hitting shots, then what are we doing here? At this point?
Yeah. The whole thing was we were gonna play defense and hit shots.
Yeah.
I thought the second half, credit them, they did fight. There was a minute there where I think they cut it to maybe 10 or so.
They cut it to 10 with 5 minutes.
But
left.
they had to play such pressure defense that it just led to open threes and stuff on the other end.
That was kind of the only thing I think they could have done. They should have played that literally from start to finish.
Yeah, they played
full court press. That's all you have right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, again, you see the same thing in football where it's if you're losing bad in a must-win game, it's you have to start bringing pressure and stuff.
Yeah.
Which then if that doesn't work, now you're going to lose by a lot more.
Sure.
Right? Whereas and the opposite of that is what we criticize Indiana for doing, remember, in the playoff, where it's they wouldn't do that. They were just okay to lose by 14.
Yes.
Instead of trying to win and potentially losing by 30.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so credit to Tennessee for at least being we don't losing by 1 and losing by 40 is the same thing to us. So we have to try. And they made it interesting a lot of the way. I just obviously wish some of those shots in the first half would have fell. But again, hell of a ride. I got exactly out of that what I wanted. I was that I want to get emotionally invested in a team and start to care about the players. And we never had to go through a real. There was no war really.
Yeah.
So I never went through it like that. Because it was just 3 blowouts and then getting blown out. But beating the shit out of Kentucky, that felt great.
Yeah.
I was oh, I'm so happy for my guys.
Especially just talking shit before and then winning.
Well, it's Kentucky, Tennessee, so it means a lot to the school. And just but I was happy for I was happy for Chaz Lanier. I was happy for Zakai Ziegler. I was okay, now that's what I wanted. I wanted to care about the guys.
Yeah.
And I did, and that's good. And now listen, I'm out. I'm I don't care now. All the best to you guys the rest of your way. I'll root for you. I imagine I'm not seeing the 5'7" point guard in the NBA.
Yeah, I don't think
Chaz Lanier looks like he probably played in the NBA.
He can shoot.
Yeah, tall white boy. He looks like a type of guy too. And look, hey, maybe we'll run it back next year. Just take the NIL money. You don't have to come out right away, kind of thing. So yeah, hopefully they're back. That was a fun ride. It feels like Duke is just gonna roll now moving forward, right? It just the story of this tournament has been the best team wins.
Yeah.
So it feels like the best team.
I think also when Cooper Flag scored at the end of the half last night to get that 3-point play, I think that was just such a good example of this guy is just so kind of that LeBron-esque thing of I'm gonna try now.
Well, that was the thing that scared me about Duke when I watched that game, was the way that they obviously have the high end talent shot making type guys. That a lot of teams don't have. Tennessee doesn't really have that.
Mm-hmm.
Lanier and stuff, they can hit shots off screens and they can off the dribble and stuff, but not just true NBA style, just ISO, give him the ball and let him get a bucket kind of guy. So having that helps. But then on top of that, they're also really well coached. They got a bunch of easy buckets off back cuts and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then they played really, really good defense too.
Yes.
And it's oh, okay. So then, you're not if they were just really talented and lazy and miscoached or whatever, some of those old those Kentucky teams were and stuff back with Calipari. Then it would be oh, okay, there's you could get them. Then you'd see the way of we're gonna outwork them. We're gonna they're not gonna be ready for the fire. But it's oh no, when you see this oh they're just really talented and they play hard and and they're well coached and it's there's no flaws.
Yeah.
They're probably just gonna win.
Yeah, no, that was I don't see any way anyone beats them.
Yeah. So all right, well, like I said, we'll watch next week. We'll have some Final Four stuff for you. If anything happens in this Auburn Michigan State game to come back with, we can talk about it some other time. But tough to see for Tennessee. Hell of a ride. We'll take a break now. All right, it's March 30th. It's almost April. Baseball's back. to help us talk about it, break it down, give you betting angles, talk about the storylines, basically everything you need to know to get up to speed on baseball. We're joined by the one only Mr. Robert Cackham, a.k.a. the Young Jew, a.k.a. Bobby Betts Pacino.
Bobby Betts Pacino.
There we go. That's the one.
That's the new name.
That's the one that we're going to go with. So, look, we're going to get into a whole bunch of baseball stuff. We're going to talk about big picture stuff. We're going to talk about how to gamble on it, what your favorite bets are, all that stuff. But first, we got to start with the storyline so far of the first weekend of baseball, which is the Yankees being cheating scumbags. Mm-hmm. So you just found out about this when you walked in to the room.
I just found out. The baseball expert has no fucking idea.
Specifically to inform everybody about what's going on in baseball, has no idea what's going on in baseball.
I beg to be like, can I please come on as the baseball expert? Please have me on as the baseball expert. And then you're like, have you heard about the baseball news? Nah.
Not at all.
Not really, no.
That's all right. Listen, like I said, I normally do every segment of this podcast with a guy who has no idea what I'm talking about. So this is par for the course. So here's the deal. So what we understand about the Yankees, number one, is scumbag organization off top, right? The organization that's brought you such cheaters such as Alex Rodriguez, Gary Sheffield, Robinson Cano, Mark Teixeira, just line after line after line.
Just nonstop.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they're New Yorkers.
Exactly. And Italians,
you can't be trusted.
Right, owned by the mob at one point, all now currently owned by,
I don't. No clue, but yeah, totally.
Well, you probably do know. Probably like your uncle or something.
Sure.
Heavy Jew family.
Really?
Yeah.
The Rothsteins?
Steinbrenner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Yankees, cheaters, scumbag organization. So they show up with these bats that are they hired a guy from MIT to take the wood that was on the barrel of the bat and move it down closer to the handle, like to the label. Because what they found out is they studied Anthony Volpe, and they found out that, wow, this dude never hits it on the barrel. He's always hitting it near the handle, which means he sucks. That means you suck at baseball. Is if you don't ever hit it on the barrel, it means you don't get your hands through the zone, it means you stink. And so what the Yankees did is they're like, all right, he stinks, so let's change the bat so he doesn't stink anymore. And then what they realized was they're like, all right, that helped him not stink. We got a bunch of other guys on this team that fucking stink. Let's give them the bat too. And they get the bat, and then it's 9 home runs in a game.
That's
Thoughts?
so what's the exact science though behind it? Like
there's more wood, so because they get jammed, because right, they suck. Remember to keep in mind
they suck, okay.
So they get jammed. That part, yeah. So the ball's hitting closer to the handle than it is to like the barrel.
Okay.
So they took the wood and they moved it towards the handle. So now there's like this big bulge in the middle of the bat, and it's like skinny at the end. Because they suck.
And that transfers the weight.
Because there's more wood there, more weight, more power. Boom. Basically, they move the sweet spot of the bat.
That gives it more force, basically?
Correct. Like the sweet spot was in the barrel. Now it's in the handle.
Now it's in the handle.
But the problem with that is that means like the point of the game, the point of playing baseball is, can you get the barrel of the bat on the ball? Like, yeah, it's hard. You have to get your handle out of the way. And what they found out is Anthony Volpe stinks.
Yeah.
And so they're like, that can't be true. We've convinced everybody, just like we convinced everybody for 20 years that Derek Jeter was good. He was never good. They convinced everybody that Anthony Volpe is good. They're committed to it. He stinks. And they're like, all right, well, now we're going to have to spend, we don't have any money for Juan Soto. We have to spend all this money on the scientist from MIT. We're going to bring him in, and he's going to change the bat for us. And here's the thing, Rob. There's already a rule against this. There's already a rule on the books against this that says this is what the size of the bat is, this is what the shape of the bat is. The problem is it's fucking baseball, and the rule's 120 years old, and so they didn't like word it properly back in the day. And so basically what the ruling is that the bat has to be smooth, is what it says in the rule book. And now everybody from the beginning of time, playing this game for fucking 130 years, from the beginning of time, it took that to mean that it has to be like a smooth taper. Like it has to go from the thickest part to the skinniest part. For 130 years we've been doing this. This year, the Yankees are like, no. It means that the surface has to be smooth. It doesn't mean shit about the taper. So now Anthony Volpe, who stinks, is going to hit 3 home runs a game.
So they basically increased the surface area on the lower part of the bat
because they suck, and that's where they hit it.
And that's where Anthony Volpe started hitting there
because he sucks.
That's hard. That's honestly, I'm so sad to hear that, because Anthony Volpe was one of my favorite rookies.
Well, there's no respect for himself.
In the 2 years ago, 2 years ago was his rookie year. 23.
2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah. 23 was his rookie year. Poor guy.
If he had any sort of self-respect, when they came to him with that, he should have said no. He should have been like, actually, I'd rather just try to get good.
Yeah, but you know what it is. He's
a scumbag Yankee, of course.
He grew up thinking, in the Bronx.
Grew up idolizing Jeter, who also sucked.
He grew up in the Bronx, and watching the Yankees.
It's sad what propaganda does to people.
And the Yankees are the first team that drafted him.
Yeah.
So
right. So he was like, so maybe in a different life he could have not been a lying chump scumbag cheater, but he was indoctrinated by
how
a
old is
lying
he?
summbag organization.
How old is he? 24?
I don't know, something like
We
that.
gotta
Right,
look
exactly.
that up.
So he would have been growing up during the peak propaganda years when they were trying to tell you that Derek Jeter was the best defensive shortstop in baseball. Alex Rodriguez had to play fucking third base. He was 6 times the fucking shortstop that Jeter was, but Jeter's got that crazy ego. It's also why Jeter was out there fucking with the young girls and all that stuff. We're not have to get into that.
Man, maybe he's a kid. You know, maybe give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, maybe he's being peer.
What do you mean? He's using a cheating bat.
Maybe he's being peer pressured by the organization. And
Well, for sure.
He's a rookie. You know, I've been in that situation. You know, where you get peer pressured and you just gotta go with the boys.
Right. And listen,
Right?
they put him in a bad spot by telling everybody he was good when he sucks.
Yeah.
Right. And
Right.
like he sucks so bad that they had to hire a guy from MIT to figure out how to make
So
it
this is what happened when they scored. They just recently scored 20
runs
20
yesterday,
runs.
12 more today.
against the Brewers and
The
12
Brewers.
more today against the Brewers.
Yeah.
Putting up fucking football NFL numbers.
Franchise record. Organizers been around since fucking
Franchise
1800s.
This was
9
the
home runs in
first
a game.
time.
Yeah, interesting.
But can they only use these torpedo bats at home? Like they can't
No.
take these on the road
No,
with them?
they're like, that's why MLB has to make a rule. They have to come out and say, hey, listen, the rule that's on the fucking books that everybody's fucking respected for 130 years, it needs to be followed. We can't just fundamentally change the game like
I'm
that.
saying like when they're going to start playing their first away games, are they allowed to take
Yeah.
these bats with them?
100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, you get to bring your own bats.
Yeah.
Right, everybody has their own bat already, right? Like guys like different brands or shit like that.
Okay.
But it's all like within a standard, like it'd be like an organization being like, hey, here's the deal. Our pitchers stink. So now instead of a baseball, we're gonna throw a golf ball. and it's just they throw faster, so it's better for them.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think
It's scumbag.
it's ruining the integrity of the game. But then again, you know, in the last few years, it's just everything has just been up for debate in terms of
Right.
like the rules of baseball.
Yeah.
And you know, what everyone's looking for the juice. Everyone's looking for the fine print of how we can manipulate what the rules say.
For sure.
Do you know what I'm saying? I just found out recently about the Chase Huntley whole scandal when he ran into, I forgot who it was, but it was the second base guy, ruined his whole career, and then that changed the entire rule of how you're supposed to either slide into second base and you're supposed to get
Dustin Pedroia was another one that
was, I think that was one of the big ones. But hey man, these things come in. This is why we love the sport of baseball.
But the problem is with this is like the games are going to be 20 to 18.
Every Yankee game is just going to be.
Well, everybody's going to do it. If they either make it illegal or every team's going to do it.
Man,
And then the games will never end.
if you spend billions of dollars on your franchise, like I get it. You know, it's like was it even worth the money at this point? You know, if you're putting up, if the Yankees are the most expensive fucking organization
Right.
in all of baseball, like, and they're dog shit
Yeah.
at the end of the day, right? You know, we had to make something happen. How much did that MIT scientist cost?
Probably as you know what, and honestly,
And I'm just playing devil's advocate.
probably around the same salaries like what Juan Soto would have cost. But also too, it's honestly, look, they put themselves into a spot where they're like, hey, we have this guy, we're financially committed to him. Let's run the numbers. Oh, it turns out he sucks. The numbers did. They by their own by Volpe.
Oh, by Volpe.
Like their own admission, by their own internal department, by their decision, they have said, okay, we found out he sucks. He can't make contact with the barrel. So now let's figure out a way. Can't get out of the contract. All right, now we're gonna have to spend money to figure out a loophole. Bring the MIT guy in. He's like, here's what we can do. We can fake like we don't know what the rule is. We'll just lie for a little while. We're used to doing that around here, and then we can change what the bats are, and we're gonna win probably a bunch of games in the meantime before MLB gets their act together.
Yeah.
Or they don't, and everybody does this, and the game's gonna be 20 to 18.
Every game.
And that would be very, very typical of baseball, to where baseball has been back for 1 year, where people have been like, all right, maybe this is like an acceptable entertainment product again. And then for them to just let the Yankees come in and shit all over it. Ruin. They're already letting the Dodgers fucking ruin it. How do you feel about the Dodgers?
Oh, you're talking about the market cap. You're talking about.
Well, I'm just talking about
the
baseball letting the Dodgers just run roughshod over everybody else, to where like I think they're over under for their win total this year's like 109 games.
Yeah, but that comes with both sides of the coin. Is they could also lose and not go to the World Series, and then they just look like complete schmucks.
Right, but then they'll just do it again. Like they'll just keep paying.
Yeah, but like if they don't go to the World Series this year,
Right.
they look like complete assholes.
They do.
They look like complete fucking dorks, right?
Right,
If they
that's
don't,
true.
If they don't, right? It's a two sides of the coin, right? Like everyone's saying the Dodgers are buying the World Series. Well, even if they are buying the World Series, like they might still not. They more than likely will make it.
They are almost certainly
They more than likely will make it, and we might see a repeat World Series winner, which has not happened in the last 27, 25 years since
The Yankees
since
were
the
last
Yankees
one, yeah.
dynasty, 98 to 2000.
Yeah.
which it more than likely probably will happen this year. At least that's my prediction.
Yeah.
Like, and if it doesn't happen this year, that's would suck for the Dodgers entire organization.
But they'll just do it again next year. They'll just spend another $750 million. And what's up with do you know what's going on with the deferred payment situation?
I'm all about the free market. If the Dodgers have $750 million to spend on fucking Shohei and all these other, and go on a complete buying spree, hey, who am I? I'm a capitalist. I'm about it.
Okay.
I'm about it. Let him. Why not? And then if they lose the World Series, hey, maybe it wasn't just money based. Maybe it was actually based on being good at the sport.
But the thing you get when you get a salary cap is you also get a salary floor. So then you don't have teams like the Marlins and the White Sox and all these like truly like dysfunctional franchises who just like openly are like, we don't care about winning. We're just here to collect a check every 6 months from the collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah.
So like we'd also get rid of those teams, right? And then also too, like, are you a Jays fan? Do you consider yourself to be a Jays fan?
Well, just by default of location.
Sure, right.
Just I'm not gonna root for another team if I live in the city where the team plays.
Okay, but like Vlad Guerrero and Bo Bichette are gonna leave in 6 months to a year.
They're definitely gonna leave.
100%.
They're definitely gonna leave. Vladdy,
one of them's probably gonna end up being a Dodger.
Really? You think so?
I can see Bo Bichette being a Dodger for sure.
I could see Bo Bichette being a Dodger. I don't see about Vladdy being a Dodger.
He's gonna be Red Sox.
And if Vladdy does become a Dodger,
the Red Sox.
It would. What he's gonna go to Red Sox? You think he's gonna go to Red Sox?
Loves
but the whole thing is like Vladdy, he wants more money. He believes he should be paid as much as Soto.
Right.
He believes he should be paid as much as like a Shohei. Only he's asking for between $500 and $700 million.
Right.
And he's not worth that.
Okay.
He's not good enough for that.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you why. Because this was perfect. This isn't my thought. This was some guy called in to Blair and Barker on the Sportsnet radio. Some guy called in and basically he was so brutally honest, and he basically said exactly how it is. He said every single team that's won the World Series since the beginning of baseball has done it without Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Every single team has won. If wherever Vladdy goes, Vladdy is playing the Toronto sucks card and you need me card.
Right.
And
correct.
The thing he doesn't understand is Toronto will suck with or without him. That's the thing he doesn't understand. Any possible bad decision the Jays can make, they will make. Meaning they will not give him any money. And wherever he does go, he's going to have to take way less money because he's a fat cheeseburger eating fucking loser, right? And who thinks he's better than he really is. And he's better than he really is, in Toronto.
Right.
Buddy, let's go go to the Red Sox, go to fucking the Dodgers. Right? You're getting paid, you're gonna get $20. They're gonna say
no,
they're giving you not, you're gonna take and then he's gonna realize he's playing they're both trying to out bluff each other right now. And it's not going to end well for Toronto in general, for the city of Toronto. Okay, it's not going to end well. What the Jays need to do is they need to get rid of Guerrero. If Guerrero wants to leave, they should leave. They should take the money, all that money that he wants, and they should divide it up and give it. We should get some new prospects in. We should get some new rookies in. We should nurture those guys that have more potential, that are hungry, that want to grow, and not Guerrero just fucking running around there showing off his fucking gut on the pitch.
Skinny. I heard he was looking skinny.
He definitely lost some weight this season. He's looking a little better this year.
Yeah.
But again, Vladdy doesn't understand that every Toronto team is willing to push the red button at any moment. We do not give a shit about about winning. We do not care. We only care about not losing a lot.
Right. And listen, I get that, but there's a couple things. So first of all, the fact that the Dodgers are able to pay the kind of money they are to like stars is the reason why Vladdy is like, yo, you have to pay me that, because he knows that even if he's not worth that, he can still get it, because to the Dodgers, like, yo, we don't care if we overpay by $100 million or $150 million because we're just printing money over here anyway. The Yankees used to be like that. The Red Sox used to be like that. Now it's just the Dodgers. And so that fucks over like when you're like the reason why he's getting more is because there's an irrational actor in the market, and they're just like, fuck it, we don't care. And so they're signing these guys. And so correct. And so that's what creates this disconnect where the Jays are like, yo, just because like you're only worth that to them. Like you're not worth that to anybody else.
You're not.
Right. And what he's saying is, fuck you, I don't care, I'll get it there.
But he won't.
Well, that's an interesting point I did not think of.
He won't.
Of Toronto sports fans being such nihilists and so broken and beaten down.
They don't.
That like they're like, yo, you think you can hurt us?
If Vladdy
like,
goes
you think
somewhere else,
yeah.
you know what the reaction in Toronto is going to be? They're going to be like, yeah, of course.
Right. This is the city.
Why not?
This is the city of Vince Carter. This is the city of Chris Bosh.
This is the city of just like winning once in a while.
Right. Kawhi Leonard.
Once in a
Kawhi
lifetime.
Leonard won a championship here and was like, I'll never be back.
I'm never coming back here.
The day of the parade was the last time he's ever in this.
We
city.
haven't won shit even with Vladdy.
Correct.
Right. We make it to the wild card
Correct.
once every 2 years.
Correct.
And then we just fuck it up there by bumping into each other against the fucking Seattle Mariners.
Some are calling him a poor man's Edwin Encarnacion. Some say Edwin was the better player. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just different.
Listen. We at the end of the day, it's not gonna make it. He's not making a difference now.
But why did they have the money for Ohtani and Soto? Because that was the whole thing.
The Dodgers?
No, the Blue Jays. Like they were in quote unquote. Remember Ohtani with the plane thing?
In talks.
And then Soto was like rumored that he was coming here. So like they presumably had the money for them. So why do they have the money for Vladdy?
Here's I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is we get used like bargaining chips basically.
Right.
We are the sacrificial lamb.
Right.
In trade agreements, meaning that the reason, like even when they were doing the Shohei trade, there was talks of Shohei coming to Toronto.
I know,
right? That was just
it's the Dragon's Den guy.
That was just so that the Dodgers would jump on it quick. It
right,
was like
yeah,
a buy
100%.
now. You got to buy this right now, or I'm gonna complain Toronto,
Yeah.
which everyone knew wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
But the Dodgers were like, we're not taking this risk. Even okay, fine, you're playing your card. You're gonna go play in Toronto. We know you're not gonna go play in Toronto.
Yeah.
Shohei doesn't want to go play in Toronto.
Yeah.
So we are fine, Shohei. Yes, you can have this. And Shohei basically used the Blue Jays as a just like you know what I'm trying to say.
But yeah, but like if they were okay being used by Ohtani and like because like in order to be used in that situation, you have to as the team be like, well, there is theoretically like we have to have this money available if he were to take it. So it's like why are you okay putting the money up in that situation, but you're not okay paying Vladdy? So is it just the thing of like we don't think Vladdy is that level of player?
He's not.
Right, but then you're so fucked if he leaves.
And then Vladdy thinks he is.
So do you think he gets traded?
And do you
think they trade him?
This is the conundrum, right? Is Vladdy thinks he's a Shohei level player.
Right.
But he is in Toronto,
Exactly.
which is garbage, right?
Right.
You're a polished piece of shit.
But Toronto, like
in a bigger piece of shit.
But I think he's right.
What?
That like he is like if he walks and like again I guess if this is the case then you should trade him and try to get prospects and stuff.
No,
but it's like
he's-
you're just okay going back to like all right we'll just have nothing again.
Bo Bichette might stay. Bo Bichette might stay in Toronto. He's not.
Well, but his contract's going to be significantly lower, right?
He might stay. He'd be worth more than Vladdy, to be honest.
Interesting.
He's more of he's just by pure appearance.
There's just something about him that you trust him
He's
more.
just more fit
Based on his
He's-
appearance.
He's not fat. He is
Like if you had a daughter, you'd rather she
like
dated Bo Bichette.
Bo Bichette still,
a guy who looks like Bo Bichette versus a guy who looks like Vlad Guerrero is what you're saying.
Bo Bichette still has not fully reached the potential that he could reach as a baseball player.
Right.
And he would be if Bo Bichette does get traded,
Right.
whatever team he gets traded to, he'll have an amazing year at that team the next season.
Right.
If that even happens, they might keep Bo Bichette.
Right.
Vladdy, I don't know. There's all this tension. Even if they do come to a deal,
Right.
it's still probably sour the relationship. More than likely, Vlad's gonna go to free agency and he's gonna go to another team. But when he does go to the other team, he's gonna get less money. He's not going to get as much as he would have gotten even if Toronto did want to keep him. Okay, and he's going to have to accept that because not a lot of teams are going to want him. Like they're going to want it, but they're not going to be willing to chalk it up that as much as he could have gone.
I think the Dodgers might just do it.
They might just do it because they just have money to spend.
Yeah.
Sure, but then again, like compared to the Dodgers lineups, like how much playing time is he really going to get?
That's true.
You know what I mean? Where are you gonna stick him into a lineup with fucking Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, Teoscar Hernandez?
That's true.
The boys.
Yeah, that's true. They probably don't want him to play third again.
You know, and it's like, you know, they already have Max Muncy. They already have a short, fat guy.
Yeah, that's true. They do.
It's
true. Now, I will say, I did think it was interesting that based on you just went based on the appearance characteristics difference.
It's not
Boba
just
Fett
it's
and no, and then you said that there's just something about Boba Fett, can't quite put a finger on it. There's just something about the difference between him and Vladimir Guerrero from the Dominican Republic and the way that they look that you would just trust Boba Fett a little bit more. You just think that he'd probably be somebody, again, just probably more responsible.
It's based on vibes. It's based on just Boba Fett is. I'm telling you,
if you were to say which one of those guys would rob a bank,
he's like climbing for oxygen, and the Blue Jays are basically just suppressing, like trying to push him back down. They want him to do well, they do play him, but it's almost like he just feels demoralized playing in Toronto, as most players do. Right. Nobody wants to come to Toronto. Not a single player wants to come to Toronto.
Especially like if you are like a Dominican type of guy.
Shohei,
you must hate it.
Shohei did not want to come to Toronto. He used us as his bitch, as his bargaining chip to get a better deal. That's what all the players do.
New Hope King's pretty good.
It's all right, but how many times you can't be playing fucking baseball against the Dodgers off of MSG.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Toronto is the team where we're the team that takes the players that were good, that still might be good, but aren't really up to what they used to be. We did this. That's what we did. Players come to Toronto when they've exhausted most other options.
That is true.
We just snag up the new players immediately, the rookies.
Yeah.
They get decently well here, and then we trade them somewhere else. Most players that we trade usually end up having great seasons after they leave Toronto.
Right.
Not all the players, and don't quote me on that. That's not a direct with every player, I'm going to say. But we've also are really good at trading players before they've reached their full potential, and then they go up with, like Gabriel Moreno. Great example right here. Was one of our great rookies. We traded him to the Diamondbacks. Next year they go to the fucking World Series.
Yeah.
And who do we got? Nobody, because we didn't have any money.
Right.
We got bullshit.
Yeah.
Right. We are the only Canadian team in Major League Baseball, and we are the joke of Major League Baseball.
That's not true, because you do like what the White Sox are doing and what the Marlins are doing is like truly like. Oakland is playing in a AAA stadium. And so is Tampa.
They're not even Oakland anymore. They're just called the Athletics.
Right, the Athletics. They don't even have a stadium. And Tampa, they're so broke that they still don't have their stadium rebuilt from a hurricane that was a fucking long time ago. And they're playing in the Yankees fucking spring training stadium, which is that's got to be the most embarrassing. You just sit the year out.
I got more writing on the Athletics than I do on the Jays, to be honest with you. I got more hope in them. I got the Athletics, honestly, even now that they're not Oakland, it almost feels like they're almost like a fresh new team, kind of.
Right.
Where they got Lawrence Butler, they got J.J. Bleday, they got Mason Miller, one of the best relief pitchers in all of baseball.
But objectively, right now, they're a joke.
Objectively, right now, they are not talked about as much as they should be. Do you think because they play, people are like, is this a Little League game when they watch it? Listen, I got potential. They got potential, okay?
That'd be so. You imagine they make the playoffs and they're hosting home playoff games at a AAA stadium?
Preseason.
There's fucking Sacramento.
Preseason, everybody talks. They say the same shit they say about the Jays every fucking year. This is the year that something might happen. And guess what? And then nothing ever happens. We're going to finish last in the AL East, maybe second last above the Tampa Bay Rays. Right. We didn't do also much this postseason. And my theory, who do we get? We got Max Scherzer, 42 years old.
He stinks. It's
42 years old.
Yeah.
Not really at his prime anymore. And everyone's like, oh my God, Scherzer. Holy shit.
He's also crazy.
And now he's just got put on the IL. What's today, March 30th? He got put on the IL because he hurt his fucking thumb. He's got thumb inflammation because he's a 40-year-old man throwing a fucking baseball. Guy got 15-day IL because he got we got Anthony Santander, which isn't a bad pickup. He did play for Baltimore or the Giants. I forget. Baltimore played for Baltimore last year. Not a bad addition. Still a good player. Still a good player, right? But the whole reason of getting him was he was supposed to add support to. That's what they all say. He's the support player for Guerrero and for Bo Bichette and for all these guys who don't even give a shit really that much anymore. The support player. It's and those are really the only notable trades unless I'm missing something.
All right. Well, that's a good transition spot because while we're on predictions, we're going to get into futures and we're going to give this. Ultimately, people tune in to watch for gambling. They do not really care that much about our opinions.
Yeah, fair.
This entire following has been grown off me winning NFL bets. So
really,
if we don't give them picks, they're gonna tune out. And probably radicalize a little bit against your people. So we should probably make sure these hit. All right. So I asked you to come with, and let me know if you don't have any of these. That's fine. But what did I?
I got them.
You got them.
I got some.
Okay, you got some. So let's start with. Where are we? There we are. Okay. So give me. We'll just go rapid fire around the horn. Give me your division winners. Do you have division winners?
I can pull them out.
Okay.
Division winners.
Go ahead.
Okay. AL East. Definitely not the Jays.
Not the Jays. Jays are
Definitely
off the table.
not the Jays.
I feel like Jays and Rays off the table.
We might maybe scratch into the wild card, not even like we do every year and lose in the first round. That's not the winning pick. AL East, Yankees.
Is this now informed by the fact that they're cheating?
Yankees. Well, like, you know what? If they cheat their way, we're talking about winners here.
They cheated their way to 27 titles, so why not another one?
Season just started. There might be some rules that happen.
They
might, or another runner-up is Boston. I love Boston. They're a team that has done a lot in the off season.
Right.
They've done a lot. Boston is a very is almost second favorite. I was looking at the odds, it was like plus 200, plus 230, plus 240, something like that. Boston would be my other pick. Besides that, I don't see the Jays doing much. The Rays are bums, and Baltimore. Maybe Baltimore.
It's those three, I think, at the top.
Maybe Baltimore takes the wild card spot, but again, they didn't really do much in the offseason this year. They lost a couple of good players. Yeah. They haven't really updated. Their rotation isn't the greatest.
They lost Corbin Burns.
They lost Corbin Burns. They lost Santander.
Yeah.
They lost. It's not. They don't. I don't really see them doing a lot. Yankees, Boston.
Yeah.
Between those two is my pick for the AL East.
All right, and just again to recap,
we're going
Yankees
down.
cheating.
Sure.
Yeah.
But hey, we're talking about winners here. All right. If you cheat to win, you're going to bet on a cheater that knows you're going to win for sure.
27 titles by cheating. Why not another?
Hey, I'm not sitting here as a Yankees fan. Oh fuck,
feels like it. Feels like it.
No. Hey, we're trying to make money here.
Yep. All right. Fair enough.
Okay. AL Central. Okay. I love the Guardians. I love the Guardians for this year. And I love KC this year. Bobby Witt Jr.
Bobby Jr. sick.
Bobby Witt Jr.
Maybe the best name in sports.
Bobby Witt Jr. is a absolute beast. They have a amazing pitching rotation right now. They have a great pitching rotation that I don't know any of their names. Hold on. There was a few of them that I was like,
we'll take your word for it. We believe you.
Yeah. What's his name? Seth Lugo.
Yeah.
Great. Cole Reagans.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, KC is one of my favorites.
All right.
The Guardians, great, and a fun underdog. It would be Detroit, the Detroit Tigers. Tarek Skubal, incredible, and their lineups. They got young guys. They got a lot of dudes who are still very passionate about the go. They got Riley Green. Riley Green's very fun to watch. Very fun. Very fun players.
All right.
Okay, AL West. Let's do AL West.
Okay.
AL West. I got the Texas Rangers.
Good. They beat the shit out of the Red Sox.
The Texas Rangers, we forget that fucking 2 years ago they were the World Series winners.
Fact.
2 years ago they were the World Series winners. And a lot of times what happens is you get what they call the offseason or the World Series hangover.
Yeah.
Which is, you slug it out all year and then the next year you're exhausted.
Yeah.
You can't do it. Texas Rangers, my pick, AL West. I don't see the Astros doing much this year, really. The Athletics, as much as I like them, still the Athletics.
Yeah.
I'm not delusional. Okay,
Yeah.
They're still the Athletics.
It would be an insane
we're not talking about
playoff
not talking about wild cards. We're talking about winners here, right?
Right.
Texas Rangers.
Yep.
And they're playing in a shitty fucking division. The Seattle Mariners are on paper a decent team.
Right.
But when it comes to results, not really.
Yeah.
And the Angels are just the Angels.
Right.
Nobody talks
just
about
wasted Mike Trout's
whole exactly.
career.
The Texas Rangers is my only pick really to win the AL West.
So then who do you like coming out of the AL to make the World Series out of those teams?
To make the final World Series.
Yeah.
Right?
Who do you like? We listed Yankees, Red Sox. We listed the Guardians, the Royals, the Rangers. Who's winning the AL?
It's gonna come down to between the Yankees and the Rangers. It's gonna come down between those two teams. As much as I love Boston, I don't know. It's still very like up to it. They're good. They might win the division, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be a toss up between the Yankees and the Rangers.
Okay,
is my pick at least.
Okay. And then on the NL side of things,
on the NL side,
obviously we can skip the Dodgers winning.
We can skip the Dodgers. You're saying the NL is up for grabs.
Let's talk about the NL East a little bit here.
The NL East.
Phillies, Mets, Braves, all pretty good.
Phillies, Mets, Braves, very good. Really, the AL East contenders. I like the Mets. Listen, that's not my pick yet. The Mets are a very good team. Juan Soto, obviously, great batting lineups. Their pitching rotation is what's going to hold them back for the whole season. They didn't do much with their pitching rotation. It's not going to be. It's the pitch. They don't have a healthy balance of pitchers and batters. The lineup's going to get. They're going to get hits, but they're also going to get hits ran up on them because their pitchers aren't the best. Okay. Miami is Miami.
An abomination. Don't talk about it.
An abomination. Washington, we're not doing nothing there.
No.
Washington ain't nobody talking about Washington.
No.
It's going to come down between the Phillies and the Braves.
Yeah. Braves got to stay healthy.
Braves got to stay healthy. Braves have a lot of injuries. Spencer Strider's probably going to come back this year.
Yep.
Huge addition to the team. Also, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yep.
Still injured. If all these players are being planned to come back this season to play. How they stay healthy and how they play is still up for debate.
Yeah.
If the Braves don't hold, it's the Phillies all the way.
Yeah.
NL East, the Phillies, that would be my pick.
That you're going with the Phillies?
I'm going with the Phillies.
It feels like the right
Phillies
one.
are still a rock star team. Bryce Harper, Alec Boehm, Kyle Schwarber, absolute menaces, absolute killers. Their pitching rotation is freaking incredible. Yeah. Aaron Nola, who's that other fucking guy? But Phillies is my pick.
All right, so Phillies. But ultimately the Dodgers coming out of the NL. You think
the Dodgers come NL East?
Right, but I'm talking about. All right, so we did. All right, give me NL Central then. Who do you got in the NL Central?
NL Central. It's gonna be between. Listen, the obvious pick is that you'll hear people say is the Cubs.
Right.
Okay. They talk about the Cubs every year. They got Kyle Tucker this year. They did lose Cody Bellinger. Yeah. They got Kyle Tucker. Their pitching rotation, they got that Japanese fucking guy, Imanaga.
Right.
They got Imanaga now. He's doing it right. And they talk about the Cubs taking the NL Central every year. And what happens is the Brewers take it, always sneak up under them and take it. But this year though, I got the Brewers.
The Brewers.
I got the Brewers. Another contender is the Cubs, and also just for a fun little thing is the Pirates. The Pirates are a very fun team to just watch right now. They got Paul Skeens.
Paul Skeens good.
Paul Skeens, the rookie of the year. They got Jared Jones.
O'Neal Cruz.
O'Neal Cruz is all right. Likes to steal the bases.
He's like 6'8".
Loves to steal the bases. Jared Jones, if he comes back off the IL, he's definitely out till June. Okay. Jared Jones was one of my favorite rookies to watch last year. Him and Paul Skeens. If Jared Jones was healthy right now in the rotation, it would be absolutely, they would be a deadly team. But right now they only got Paul Skeens, and you can really only rely on Paul Skeens so much. You still have other pitchers that got to go through the rotation. As far as that goes, I got the Brewers taking the NL Central, with the Cubs and the Pirates as under whatever favorites to come. All right. As you know what I mean.
So we'll do it this way then. So obviously the Dodgers heavy favorites to win the NL. Mm-hmm. If you had to give the people a team to bet on that isn't the Dodgers, somebody who you could see the Dodgers get hurt, something happens, whatever, you could see this team winning the NL.
The Diamondbacks.
The Diamondbacks. Wow.
The Arizona Diamondbacks.
Interesting. Best offense in baseball last year.
The Arizona Diamondbacks are one of the sneakiest teams right now, and they got Corbin Burns. They have Zach Gallen. Okay. They got what's his name? Merrill Kelly, Brandon Pfaadt. Okay. Whatever we say, PF Fat. Don't know. Brandon Pfaadt.
Okay.
Brandon Pfaadt.
That was
Gabriel Moreno, Ketel Marte. Absolute menace. Absolute killer. Ketel Marte. And Eugenio Suarez.
Okay.
Eugenio Suarez, Corbin Carroll, fucking Lourdes Gurriel. Dude,
That's a good one.
The Diamondbacks.
That's going to be a good plus number, I think, for the people.
The Diamondbacks, obviously the Dodgers are going to win, but if there's any team to watch in the NL West, it is the Diamondbacks. The Padres, also very expensive team, but they don't got they're a good team, but Fernando Tatis, like I'm tired of hearing that guy's name. The Giants, no. The Rockies, they're too fucked up with their high altitude. Yeah. They can't see the ball.
Wait till the fucking torpedo bats show up to Colorado.
Those bats.
It'd be 36-4.
Those balls are gonna hit this International Space Station.
100%.
Gone.
Yeah,
gone.
100%.
Besides that, the Diamondbacks are one of the most fun teams right now to watch in the NL.
All right, that's a good one to cheer because you don't want to the point of a future is obviously you want to make money, but especially in baseball where you got to wait fucking 8 months or whatever it is to get cashed out 162 games. You want something that's going to take you along for the ride, and that feels like a very good team to get involved with, and you have the Goliath to cheer against. You know what I'm saying? So that seems like a good one. It's probably a pretty good plus number too.
The Diamondbacks are the pick in the NL West besides the Dodgers. If something were to happen, which it won't, because they can pay for fucking stem cells and they could pay for fucking treatments.
Wait till they get the torpedo bats.
And they could pay for torpedo bats. And they could pay fucking.
If you think the Dodgers are going to have torpedo bats,
they get the entire fucking population of Japan to come play for them if they want.
For fucking $2 million a year. And it's a $500 million contract. 495 of it we're not paying for 15 years from now.
So let's go over it.
Fuck, that's legal. All right. We got to get through this. All right. So quick. Give me your World Series winner. Just top of your head, World Series. Who's winning the World Series?
I think we're going to see the Dodgers. Dodgers back to back. It's going to happen. We live in unprecedented times. The Dodgers will take it. If they do not take it, they will be the biggest joke in all of baseball for spending all of that money and still not making it through the World Series with one of the best fucking teams that has existed in the last 20 years in all of baseball.
All right. Perfect. Now, last one to cap it off. Give me your MVP for both leagues. Give me the AL and the NL MVP. Top of your head. Who do you like?
Top of my head, eh?
Yeah.
NL MVP?
Yeah.
Shohei.
Okay. All right. Chalk.
I'm sorry.
Chalk? No, it's fine. That's fine. Listen.
How's it not going to... If he starts pitching...
Yeah, he's going to start pitching.
If he starts pitching this year, too, and he has a good pitching season with batting, how can I not say Shohei?
Yeah. No, I mean, listen. That's the obvious choice. And then the AL, I mean, I was gonna do the same thing and pick Judge, which is pretty much the same thing as picking.
You're going to pick Aaron Judge as
in
MVP?
the I was going to pick Judge, yeah.
I was going to pick Vladimir Guerrero.
Bro, he'd be expensive at that point.
Aaron Judge, man. That's a great...
Especially now that he's cheated.
Aaron Judge or Bobby Witt Jr.
Bobby Witt Jr. is a good one, too.
Or Bobby Witt Jr.
Bobby Witt Jr., I think, is, honestly, maybe the best name in sports right now.
Amazing name.
And the fact that it's a junior, this guy got named Bobby Witt, and it was yo, I'm giving the kid this name, too. This name's so sick.
Rolls off the tongue, super nice.
And he's like, I could be Bobby Witt Jr.
Bobby Witt Jr. might win MVP if Aaron Judge, I don't know. He had a great year, 22, 23. Yeah. He's still a very amazing...
I think he has 9 home runs already.
An amazing player.
He hit 3 yesterday. I think he hit another one today.
I have him on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
He did.
Listen.
He hit the homers.
Listen, you are the commissioner, so I'm not going to get this rule passed.
I'm not the commissioner. I'm the assistant commissioner.
Yeah, you're shadow commissioner. I would say that any points scored with torpedo bats, they don't count.
Well...
I think we got it. I think we have to take a stand as a league.
Anyways,
I think we have to take a stand as a league.
That or so.
This is for people watching. This is how somebody brings a legitimate complaint to a democratically elected official, and he just downplays it and doesn't answer the question and dodges it and wants to move on.
You want to do rookie of the year?
Yeah, sure.
Want to do rookie of the year?
All right, let's do rookie of the year. God damn it! I'm gonna keep bringing it up.
Rookie of the year, NL, Roki Sasaki.
Oh, okay. Jesus.
Roki Sasaki.
How about giving people something they couldn't just Google?
Another Dodger. I love Roki Sasaki.
He's crying yesterday. Did you see that?
Why?
Because he got rocked.
He got rocked?
Yeah, and then they showed him on the bench.
All right, well, he had one bad game. Rookie of the year. Still gonna be Rookie of the year. Yeah. Okay? Roki Sasaki. All right? Rookie of the year.
All right.
As far as the AL goes... As far as AL Rookies of the Year,
there's a right answer to this question.
What is it?
You go ahead and give the answer. I'm gonna tell you, and if you get it wrong,
here's the thing: I don't have a AL Rookie of the Year pick because I've only been focusing on Roki.
It's Christian Campbell.
Second baseman
for the Boston Red Sox.
For the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah,
okay,
the Red Sox are back. I don't know if you heard.
I have no beef with that one.
Okay. All right. That's a good one to end it on because I love the Red Sox. I'm back in on them this year. So we'll have tons of Red Sox stuff coming up. So, all right. That's it. That's the baseball preview. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Robert Cackham, for joining and helping everybody get ready for this season. Where are you going to be? What should they tune into? Where can these people find you, man?
Follow me on Instagram at the Young Jew, and I'm starting this gambling account too, Bobby Vespuccino. If the clips come out, it's going to be on that account. And then Robert Cackham on line.
All right. If you're in Toronto and you like stand up comedy, Cackham's one of my favorites. So check him out. Follow him on Instagram. Figure out where he's at.
Touring all over Yuck Yucks, all over Ontario.
Do you live east of Toronto? You can see him.
Do you live east of Toronto or west of Toronto or south of Toronto? I will be in Sudbury April 25th.
There we go.
Come see it.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. We'll talk to you guys later.
I'm a Diceshaker. Electric lights on a skyscraper.